Coffee, Cake, and Camo would not be possible without the support of our awesome partners. Thank you, ECPI University, for being a force behind the forces.
Hi, everybody. I'm Chelsea.
And I'm Erica.
And welcome to Coffee, Cake, and Camo. Coffee, Cake, and Camo is a weekly podcast brought to you by the USO of Hampton Roads in Central Virginia. And each week we plan to explore a military topic, everything from the haircut challenge you've seen on social media to PCSing and everything in between.
But before we get started, we want to take a second to thank some USO HRCV sponsors, because without their support, we could not bring you this podcast or work to fulfill the USO mission. So special thank you to ECPI University. Thanks so much for being an awesome sponsor of your local USO and our local military community.
And in case any of our listeners are new to the USO, the mission of the USO is to strengthen America's military service members by keeping them connected to family, home, and country throughout their service to the nation.
All right, Chelsea, let's jump right into the show.
Totally. So this week, the whole USO HRCV team actually got to meet up at the beautiful Virginia Beach oceanfront for a training with our colleagues at USO Inc. And it's been months since the whole crew has gotten together, and I realized how different things were at this meetup versus previous gatherings. It's a game changer.
I noticed that too, Chelsea. I mean, I've said this plenty of times before. We very much are like a work family. You know, when we see each other, we're very affectionate. We give each other hugs. You know, we just love seeing each other and being around each other. But of course, this time it was a lot different. We're thankful to be together, of course, again, in just like one place, but the mood was definitely different. We can't give each other these hugs, can't be as close to each other as we would like to be like in previous gatherings. But also a huge difference that I noticed is the way that I pack for my day out has changed a lot.
Totally. I noticed that too. Getting ready for a day working outside of the house took a lot more effort and planning than I remember. It didn't help that it was also hotter than Satan's lair, so that added to the preparation as well. But it was a lot. It was a lot different.
Oh, yeah, it really is. I mean, my packing now, I notice it's way more intentional versus like my previous packing style. I would kind of just throw anything into my bag and just hope that I didn't forget anything that I might need. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, since many of our listeners might still be working from home, let's tell them what we learned on how to prepare for your first day away from your home offices and what they should be sure they pack when they finally go back to work, just so that they kind of know what to expect.
Alrighty, so I have visuals today, Chelsea. I brought my handy dandy fanny pack. They're a little outdated. Some people are arguing that they're coming back. I'm not totally sure. I've always liked them. I don't know. Nope. All right, that's fine. I'm
not on the fanny pack train, Erica, but good for you. You make them look cute.
I sure do try, and I think they're really nice. But aside from that, no matter like what you use, whether you use like a purse or a backpack, a merce is what that's like a man purse or whatever. Like, just always make sure to pack your mask. So first thing that I usually pack is my mask. Yes, that's mask with an S. It's plural. Just bring like a couple of them or more. And I figured that'd be a good idea to have, just because like you need a backup mask just in case. Like, we're all wearing masks more in public, of course. And I just decided just better safe than sorry. You might forget one like at home or whatever, but at least you have a backup with you.
So first of all, I agree with you completely. It's obviously the best policy for safety, but it's disgusting not to pack multiple masks if you're going to have a full day of wearing them. Because, well, okay, number one, we're women, so we wear makeup and it gets all over the mask and it's yuck. And then number two, you're breathing into those masks for hours at a time. Like at our training, it was like 6 hours. You got to have more than one mask. You got to change them out. It gets gross.
That's true. And I guess I never really thought about this, but if you're inside and it's pretty hot, you might want to change your mask because you're going to be sweaty.
Yes. Yeah, yep.
Other than a mask, Chelsea, is there another important thing that you packed?
Well, yeah, it turns out I didn't need to pack it because the hotel that our training was hosted provided it, but it was hand sanitizer for sure.
Oh, yeah, hand sanitizer is a super important one, too.
Oh, yeah. I think at this point, I'll always have a little bottle of hand sanitizer with me whenever I leave the house, forever.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, if you're anything like me, like I like have chapstick in like my car in a purse. And so I'll pretty much do the same thing with hand sanitizer now. Have like a mini one for like my car, a mini one for my purse, a mini one for my work backpack. It's just, like I said, better safe than sorry.
Side note about chapstick, they say that if you drink enough water, you don't need it, but I don't believe that. But I agree with you about the chapstick thing. So
I don't agree with that either. I think it depends on the person, I think. But
yeah, I've tried it. I'm like, I'm chugging this water. It's not changing the dryness of my lips. I just disagree. But anyway, now that we have probably the two most obvious things out of the way, what other things did you pack?
Well, I don't know if like our listeners, well, they wouldn't know this, Chelsea, but you actually have a really cool acronym. It's KPW, I think it is.
KW.
PKW. So it's phone, keys, and wallet. So I definitely have those things. If you guys want to like remember that acronym, I would like strongly recommend because it'll make sure that like you don't forget anything. But aside from those, my computer and my notepad, I also made sure to pack some snacks. So even though we were gonna be fed at the hotel like breakfast and lunch during our training, you honestly just like never know like how the food situation is gonna turn out. It did turn out really well. Actually, the food was really awesome.
Yes.
But I also kind of believe that if you're eating throughout the day, it'll keep you up just to have like a snack. You'll stay focused because our training was, not going to lie, it wasn't the shortest.
It also, it was important stuff, but it also wasn't the most interesting because it's, a lot of detailed information. So yeah, I agree with you. But I will say though, the food was shockingly amazing. And I always expect food to be terrible in situations like this because, I have dietary restrictions and they never have anything for me except for salad, but it was great.
Yeah, if I know it can be kind of difficult to have like a bunch of like food choices if you have dietary restrictions. So guys, bring a snack just in case. But what else did you pack, Chelsea?
Well, so I think pretty much our listeners now know my absolute disdain for the summer heat because I talk about it a lot. And I knew that we were going to be in a hotel conference room for our training, but I wasn't exactly sure what the heat situation would be like inside since it's so ungodly hot. So I made sure to bring a ton of water. But again, the hotel where we were made sure that we had chilled bottles of water, so I didn't really need to, but I did it anyway. And then I also packed a protein shaker because I don't like eating breakfast. I usually just drink a shake, so I had that. But oh, and by the way, it turned out that I was freezing the entire time in that conference room. So in over 100-degree weather, I should have brought a sweater. So yeah.
I will say this, Chelsea, you make some pretty like fancy shakes. Like when Chelsea comes into the office or anywhere else, like she'll have like a, what is it called? A
blender bottle.
A blender bottle with her at all times. And it gets pretty intense, guys. It's quite fancy.
You got to get creative with it.
Right. But I totally agree. Chilled bottles of water, I mean, that's super important. Like, even if you do enjoy the heat, guys, we got to stay hydrated. It's just for everyone's safety. And yeah, we don't want anyone, like, I guess, passing out from the heat. That's just not a good deal.
Right. Oh, I almost forgot. I do have to add, too, Erica, that USO Inc. was kind enough to provide us with brand new backpacks. So in the future, we'll have lots of room for packing our new essentials.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely will enjoy that. I mean, I'll still rock my fanny pack when, I need to.
I know you will.
But a backpack is really nice, so that was cool.
Yeah.
All right, Chelsea, I think our listeners kind of have a good idea of like what we pack, and hopefully they have some ideas on what they should be packing when it's their first day back at work or back outside.
Yeah.
So now let's just introduce them to our special guest for today, ECPI University.
I am so excited to introduce to you, Coffee, Cake, and Camo listeners, Robert Manson. He is the Assistant Director of Admissions from ECPI University right here in Virginia Beach.
Welcome, Robert. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning, Chelsea. Good morning, Erica. How are you ladies today?
We are doing very well. We're super excited to talk to you. So let's just get right into it, Robert. Could you tell our listeners a little bit about ECPI, what you do, and where ECPI is located in Hampton Roads?
So, again, I'm Robert Manson. I'm the Assistant Director of Admissions here at ECPI University. I work predominantly with military, but I also work with non-military service members as well. And what I do is I help individuals find the best fit program for themselves and help them get into college. ECPI University, as well as, we have different schools. We have ECPI University that handles all of our technology programs, as well as business, criminal justice, accounting, and things of that nature. Then we also have Medical Careers Institute, which handles all of our medical programs. And we have the Culinary Institute, Institution of Virginia, and they handle all culinary things. But we have campuses in Virginia Beach and Newport News. So if regardless of what side of the water you're on, you can attend one of our campuses.
Now, Robert, ECPI University, they've been providing education services in this area for over 50 years now. But what has made the university so attractive to students?
Well, one of the things about our programs, we're a hands-on learning institution. Our methodology of teaching, everything you learn in a book, you get a chance to apply through hands-on training. And we find that our graduates are more work ready when they come out of ECPI University. So hands-on training, our programs are also fast track. You're able to get a bachelor's degree in 2.5 years, an associate's degree in 1.5 years. So along with the hands-on training, the fast track pace, and also being able to get what you need to get hired into the field, those are some of the key points of ECPI University.
So speaking on that, when I'm driving around, I do always see your billboards that say from 0 to bachelor's in 2.5 years. So what does that mean? And how can you actually earn a bachelor's degree in 2.5 years? Because it took me 4 years to earn mine. And I'm a little bit upset that I didn't know about this.
So Chelsea, we wish you would have come to ECPI University as well. You would have been able to get your bachelor's degree in 2.5 years. And the way that we're able to do that is, one, academically, we do not go by semesters here at ECPI University. We go by what's called terms. A term is 5 weeks long. We give you 2 classes at a time. So all you have to juggle are 2 classes at a time. But every 5 weeks, you get 2 new classes. All right. So that's one of the things that contributes to you getting your bachelor's degree in 2.5 years. So in a 15-week time period, which would be equivalent to a semester, our students usually get 18 credits.
Wow.
So, yes.
That's
so
amazing.
18 credits. So that's one of the things that contributes to you being able to get that bachelor's degree in 2.5 years. Another thing is we go to school all year round here at ECPI University. You get all the federal holidays off, Labor Day, Memorial Day. For 4th of July, you're actually off for the entire week. So that's like a summer break for you. Christmas time, you're usually off from the 24th of December till the 2nd of January. That's like a winter break for you. But other than that, we go to school all year round. So by going by terms and going to school all year round, that will allow you to get your bachelor's degree in 2.5 years.
I know we had touched on, obtaining bachelor degrees through ECPI, but are there other degree options available?
Absolutely. We offer associate's degrees, bachelor degrees, and master degree programs here at ECPI University.
Wow.
Wow, that's amazing. Well, when I went to college, one of the most irritating things about it was I spent so much money buying books. It was crazy. You're like, okay, I'm giving you all of this money in tuition, and now I have to spend thousands of dollars on the books to take these classes. But I've heard that ECPI University students don't have to buy books. Is that true?
So the way we do it here at ECPI University, we include the book charge into what's called a technology fee. And the technology fee covers, you utilizing resources on the campus, things of that nature, but it also covers your books. So your books are included. We include the books into your tuition.
Oh, that's
so
brilliant.
There's not a separate fee.
That would have helped save a whole bunch
I know,
of
so much money. Eric and I are crying right now because we just realized how much money we wasted.
I also recently learned that the Culinary Institute of Virginia is also part of ECPI University, which is pretty cool. So can you tell us a little bit more about where to find their campuses and what kind of programs that they offer?
Yes, Erica, you are correct. The Culinary Institute of Virginia is a part of the ECPI University family, and they're located at 2428 Alameda Avenue, building number 106 in Norfolk, Virginia. And they have a baking and pastry program, the Culinary Arts, culinary nutrition, as well as food service management.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, I also know that ECPI has a great focus on healthcare and technology as well. So what other programs do you offer, and how do they help students land jobs once they graduate? Because that's a big deal.
Very good question, Chelsea. So another one of our schools is called Medical Careers Institute, also known as MCI. So that's another branch of ECPI University, and they handle all of our medical programs. And one of the things that we do here at ECPI University is we assist our graduates in getting hired in their field of study when they do graduate. We have a department called Career Services, and each student has a career advisor, depending on what program they're in. And that career advisor, their main purpose and goal is to assist them in getting hired in their field of study. So when they graduate, they're not out looking for employment by themselves. They partner with their career advisor so that they can get hired sooner than later in their field of study.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I know a bunch of people would be super happy to hear about that. Well, speaking of jobs, I know certifications. I mean, they're a huge deal in a lot of fields, like computer science, cyber fields, a bunch of fields, honestly. And are students able to earn certifications to help them be more competitive in their careers and their job search?
Erica, that is a great question. And the answer is yes. Students are absolutely able to receive certifications here at ECPI University. We are a Pearson VUE test center here at ECPI University. So we have a test center right here on campus. And the way it works is we want our students to take certain certifications that are going to enhance their degree. For example, if they're a cybersecurity student, one of the certifications that we'd like for them to take is Security Plus. That's a certification that's going to help them become more marketable and also help them advance in their career. Some of the classes that they're taking in their curriculum are preparing them for certain certifications. So they still have to do some studying on their own. And we have a section in our library called Certification Central. They don't have to go out and buy a bunch of certification books because they have access to all the materials that they need to successfully complete the certification test.
That's incredible. It's really nice to know that, like, through ECPI University, that's an option because, you know, there are some people, like, even if they're well into their careers, they might just want to enhance it, you know, and not necessarily go through like a whole formal program. So it's really nice that ECPI is offering that option to them too.
Yes, and also just to add to that, Erica, if you are a non-degree seeking student and you're just interested in certifications, we do have a continued education department that handles certifications only.
Oh, wow.
Nice. Sweet.
Yeah.
And just another question, Robert. I know that we are the USO, of course. We support the military, and we just want to have like our service members in mind, especially when they want to continue their education in the Hampton Roads area. The Hampton Roads area, there's a ton of military here, and I'm sure you see a lot of them as students on campus. So are there any special services or programs that just focus on our military service members and veterans?
Well, first of all, Erica, thank you for the work that you guys do over at the USO. We appreciate everything that you guys do for the active duty service members as well as veterans. So yes, there are we have different programs. We have a Student Veterans Association here at ECPI University. We also have an executive director here by the name of Bill Brown, who works closely with the military and assisting them in different programs that will benefit them here at ECPI University. So we do several things. We have a huge military population here at ECPI University. We've been voted #1 for vets like 9 years in a row here at ECPI University. So we enjoy servicing and assisting our active duty service members and our veterans not only get a quality education, but get what they need to go on to that next career as well. So
Right.
Well, thank you, Robert, for everything that you're doing. I mean, ECPI is a huge supporter of the military. Not only they're a huge supporter of us, but they're also, like you said, everything that you're doing to support service members and veterans is absolutely incredible. So I just want to say thank you for that. And I wanted to ask too. So when I went to college, one of the most stressful aspects of it was that learning how to enroll and sign up for classes. So for someone that's never been, it's got to seem overwhelming. At least it did for me. So what do you all do to help people get through the application process? Like, do you have departments that focus just on military and veterans to help them? How does it all work?
So here at ECPI University, one of the things that you're going to get a lot of personal attention here. All right, so we have admissions advisors here. We have academic advisors. We have student financial services advisors, and we also have career services advisors. So each one of those advisors are helping the students in their educational journey. On the front end, the admissions advisors, they're helping the student get into school by helping them with their assessments and making sure that they go into the program that is the best fit for them, and making sure that our university is a good fit for them and they're a good fit for us as well. So that's on the admissions side, and they help them get into school, but they keep in contact with them all the way up until the point that they start school, as well as during their educational journey. So that's the admissions advisor, but they also have an academic advisor as well. Now, the academic advisor is usually someone who has worked in the field before. That academic advisor mentors the students. They also do the schedule for the students as well. So they don't have to worry about signing up for classes or anything of that nature. They can solely focus on academics because the academic advisor is going to do the schedule for them. The academic advisor also guides them on certain certifications that will make them more marketable, and anything they need to help them be successful academically. That's what that academic advisor is there for. They also have a career advisor, career services advisor, in which helps them with resume preparation, help them prepare for the interview process by doing mock interviews or practice interviews and things of that nature. But they also help them get placed in their field of study by giving them leads of companies that are looking for individuals with their skills. So we have an advisor that helps students from admissions to helping them get placed in their career, helping them get a job in their career field.
That's actually like really great to know, because when a service member or whoever really kind of wants to think about going back to school, it's nice to know that ECPI has a whole team, and that through every step of the process, they aren't going through it alone. And I'm sure that our listeners would really appreciate that, knowing that ECPI is really, if you're thinking about going back to school, whether you're a veteran, whether you're active duty, or just, someone that's curious, ECPI has a whole team of people that'll hold your hand through it, which is pretty awesome. Yeah. To follow up on that last question that Chelsea asked, so do you often find, Robert, that military and veterans, some of them, they may be concerned about going back to school if they don't know it's for them. They might have like other commitments, like such as family or just anything else. But how does ECPI kind of help them see that they can do it? They can go back to school and make it work. Absolutely.
Great question, Erica. So one, me being a former Marine, well, once a Marine, always a Marine, but me being a Marine, I speak from experience. Sometimes coming out of the military, some folks think they may not be smart enough to get a college education, or feel that it may not fit into their life, because of the commitments and things of that nature. So as an admissions advisor, we're going to help them determine whether this is a good fit for them or not through assessments, by giving them a formal interview. There's an interview process that you go to as well, question and answering session that is basically going to determine whether we're a good fit for you and you are a good fit for us. So we go through a process to help them ease into the educational process, but also the assessments that we give them. The assessments are going to, one, not only get them into the school, but it also lets us know where they stand academically. So if we need to give them a refresher course, which will help them ease their way into education, not throwing them to the academic wolves or anything of that nature, but give them the tools, being that they've been out of school for maybe some 4 years and some even 20 plus years been out of school. So we have the resources here to help them be successful and to put them in a position to be successful as well.
That's great news. Yeah. I think it's awesome. And it's great that you yourself are a veteran. They know that they can come to you and trust you because you've been through it. You've done it. So I also want to say, Robert, we get a lot of complaints, not complaints necessarily, but service members with issues when they're trying to go the traditional 4-year college route, where they're saying, I don't know if my college credits or that if my military education is going to transfer into college credits. So what do they have from the military that shows what they did? And does that work for ECPI?
So if you served in the military, there's a document called a Joint Service Transcript. Joint Service Transcript, formerly known for Marines and sailors as the SMART transcript. And that transcript has all the military training schools that you've attended and things of that nature, but it also has on it how it translates to college credit. So what we do here at ECPI University is we evaluate the Joint Service Transcript and any other college transcript that a service member may have. So we evaluate those transcripts for transfer credit. If anything is equivalent to the curriculum or the program that they're going into, then it could possibly transfer into us.
Great.
And what that does, Chelsea, is that not only reduces the cost, but it reduces their time in school as well. So they're going to, instead of being here for 2.5 years for a bachelor's degree and a 1.5 years for an associate's degree, they can get out of here even sooner.
That's great.
I think that's definitely great news, because you definitely don't want to retake any classes that you might have probably obtained through your military education. So I'm sure our listeners would be really happy to hear about that. So for an active duty military service member that's attending ECPI, do the TA rates that are set up by the military match up with your tuition?
So what we do, Erica, for our active duty service members is we do accept tuition assistance, and we also have what's called the active duty scholarship. So what we do is we charge our active duty service members whatever TA is, that's what we charge them per credit hour.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Well, Robert, finally, we all know that COVID has changed the way everyone's doing business. It's just the reality. So how has that impacted ECPI University students, and how are you holding classes during this pandemic? Like, can students still do their lab work in person, or is everything virtual?
So since COVID has hit us, what we've adopted are what are called remote synchronization classes. And what those are real-time classes via internet, using Microsoft Teams, using Zoom and things of that nature. So you are able to continue to take your classes through remote synchronization or even online. Online classes are self-paced, but again, the remote synchronization, those classes are real-time. You're able to communicate with your instructor as well as your fellow classmates So that's one of the things that we're doing, so students can continue their education. And we are offering classes on campus as well, so students can still come to the campus in small groups to do labs and get their hands-on training. When you do come to the campus, we are going to take your temperature. We are CDC compliant. We're going to take your temperature. If you don't have a face mask, we will provide you with one. We go through a screening process as well. You have to go through a screening process to ensure that you're able to come into the building and be safe and keep everyone safe as well. So we're abiding by the CDC guidelines to ensure that our students are safe here at ECPI University, and also they can continue their education, get their hands-on training, and all that good stuff as well.
Fantastic. It's really good to know that you guys are taking as many precautions, just because at the end of the day, the health and safety of everyone should be all of our priorities. So that's really good to know. Now, Robert, is there anything you would like to let our listeners know before you head out?
Well, I'd like them to know that ECPI University, our admissions department, we're open Monday through Saturday. Monday through Thursday, we're here from 9 until 8 p.m. On Fridays, we're here from 9 until 5. And on Saturdays, the campus is open from 9 until 3. You're more than welcome to come in and visit the campus. If you do come in, like I said, we'll go ahead and make sure that you have protective gear, a face mask. We'll make sure that your temperature is checked and everything, that you're safe and everyone on campus is safe. We'll give you a tour. We'll go over information with you. You're also more than welcome to go to our website to check out all of our great programs. But we're all about helping the community get a quality education and go on to getting a quality career as well.
Perfect. Well, for all of our listeners, if you want more information, please visit ecpi.edu. And thank you so much for joining us today, Robert. It was a real pleasure.
Thank you, Chelsea. Thank you, Erica. You ladies have a great day.
Thanks,
you too.
Robert.
We'll talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.
Well, that's all the time we have today, guys, on Coffee, Cake, and Camo. Be sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Just search for the handle USOHRCB. And if there's a topic that you'd like to talk to us about or share with us, just use the hashtag Coffee, Cake, Camo.
And a final giant thank you to ECPI University and Robert for joining us today. Seriously, listeners, if you're looking for school and you think that you can do the ECPI route with 2.5 years, I know it's intense, but it's a great university. You're going to get out of there a lot sooner than a 4-year degree, and you're going to get a fantastic education. So definitely consider ECPI. And I'm Chelsea.
And I'm Erica. Stay connected and classy, HRCB.